Step 4 is all about the importance of baselines in your projects. Now, up to this point, you are helping set the direction for your project. Specifically, you built those project management plans, which clarify the how for your project, how you and your team will lead the project from the beginning to the end across all the knowledge areas. At this point, we need to go deeper and we need to define the what for your project. Specifically, what you will create, what the schedule is, and what it will all cost. These 3 whats that you nail down are called the 3 project baselines. All right. Now, let me show you where they are built. As we're building our baselines, we're doing a scope baseline, a schedule baseline, and a cost baseline. These are the processes in which those 3 baselines are built. And let me take off those little plans because we know those are the hows and we're in the what land right now. The first one is we start with the scope. What will the team deliver? So those little processes, in another video, we're going to go super deep into those. We're going to take all the high level ideas, all the opinions of what we could deliver, and we're going to guide the team and the stakeholders and the sponsors through a process to nail down exactly what we will and what we will not deliver. We're going to be very, very specific. The charter is high level. These baselines are laser focused on what we will and will not do. So that's the scope baseline. Now, these 4 processes right here, it's all about the schedule. We take the scope, and while we're doing that, we're figuring out what activities we need to do, in what order, and who needs to do them in order to get the thing done. By the milestones that we set, dealing with the constraints that we currently have, how are we going to pull it off? That's the schedule. How and when will the team complete the activities to get the work delivered? And as we do that, we have to balance schedule and cost in the delivery of a great product at the quality level we want. So we got to figure out how much it's going to cost to pay for all the activities, all the machinery, all the quality, help and guidance and testing that we have, all the risk things we need to plan for. All those things need to be built in and combined into a comprehensive cost model. So as we go through there, scope, schedule, and cost, we're going to nail down all those things, okay? Now, I want you to cement in your brain that the baseline, all 3 of them, are the official approved project specifics, okay? The scope, the schedule, the cost, the absolute essentials of what we're going to do. No ambiguity there, clear on a paper. That's what we're doing. It's approved by the sponsor. Sponsor approves the charter. Sponsor approves the baselines, okay? Now, once those things are nailed down and approved, meaning the 3 baselines, any change that we have to a scope, schedule, or cost baseline, we require an approved change request. Now, an approved change request, they can only be approved by the Change Control Board, also known as the CCB. We're going to have videos that go through it in depth about how it works, but any change to those baselines gotta go through the CCB. Sponsors on it, other people of their ilk and their level, director level, who can see a bigger picture. They can say yes or they can say no to your change, okay? Now, baselines as a generality are super duper essential to your project. The reason why is they clarify for everybody and specifically for the sponsor what will and will not be delivered. You do not want ambiguity in that sense. You want to get to the end and say, we told you we'd do this, we delivered on it, you're welcome. That's what you want. You don't want saying, oh, I wish you would have done this or that. No, clarity is what you want. Now, when we do this, we are ensuring sponsor approval because we can't go execute without signatures on the scope, schedule, and cost baselines. They have to approve for us to put rubber to the road and get rolling, okay? Also, it drives team and stakeholder alignment. There's no opinion in this. Once we get through and we clarify it, everybody knows exactly what we're doing. Very clear. The challenge now is how do we actually pull it off? How do we come together and execute? That's what we need the team to be thinking about and the stakeholders to be contributing to. And lastly, it sets the standard by which progress is tracked against. So we're saying exactly where we are, and we can say, are we there or are we not? Let me show you how that visualizes. If we look at this picture, this entire column that my head's in right now is monitoring and controlling. The whole existence of this process group is to say, hey, we set a baseline. We set the official version of the scope, schedule, and cost. We told the world, this is what we're going to deliver. This is what the schedule is. This is when it will be done. This is how much we'd spend at every single second through the game. How we doing versus what we said? How are we progressing at this time versus what we said be right now? Now that we know this and what we've spent and done up to this point, what's our projections for the future? If we do not have a baseline, it's impossible to know how we're doing. So we have to have a baseline to get everybody aligned, to get sponsor approval, and to set ourselves up to evaluate our progress as we go through there. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to jump into that first baseline, the scope one. How do we take all those high-level ideas and all the desires and wants that all these different stakeholders and your sponsor have, and how do we mold them into a unified, very precise scope baseline? This is going to be fun. Let's dive in. I'll see you in the next video.